The notion that the police can arrest someone based purely on what the person may be thinking is preposterous in the United States. Terry v. Ohio. A person has committed a crime, is committing a crime, or is about to commit a crime. What is considered to be one of the strongest synonyms for about to happen? Anticipated. In 2016, it was anticipated that Hillary Rodham Clinton would win the presidential election, but they missed the mark. Because of Terry v. Ohio, listen closely because this is just as absurd as it gets. The police think they know what somebody's thinking. So, based on what they think somebody is thinking, the police think that an arrest is appropriate. Still think it's preposterous. That's me and my boat, and we're going to go across the big old Atlantic Ocean and going to go visit my good friend Thomas Shelby over in Birmingham, England. Oh, you know Thomas Shelby, don't you? In Birmingham? Oh, he's kind of a big shot over there. I just hope you don't put a gun to my head like you did last time. Oh, Mr. Shelby, you wouldn't put a gun to my head again, would you, Mr. Shelby? Mr. Shelby? Jolly ho, I made it all the way to Birmingham, England. Now it's time to do a little walkabout. See if you can find any of them thought police over here in the great UK. Birmingham, England, home of Tommy Shelby and some really shitty tea.
Amazing story. Isabel Vaughan Spruce is the leader of 40 Days for Life campaign in Birmingham, England. She's not a terrorist. She's the opposite. She's someone who prays a lot. Well, earlier this month, she was praying silently outside an abortion clinic in Birmingham. She wasn't yelling or carrying a sign or blocking a doorway or doing anything disruptive. She was just praying. Praying. Not to the government, to God. And that's not allowed anymore. So police approached her and arrested her and charged her with violating a public space protection order and committing, quote, antisocial behavior. And we're not making this up. It was caught on video. Here it is.
What are you here for today?
Physically, I'm just standing here.
Okay. Why here of all places? I know you don't live nearby.
But this is an abortion centre.
You're praying?
I might be praying in my head out loud.
So I'll ask you once more, will you voluntarily come with us now to the police station for me to ask you some questions about today and other days where there are allegations that you've broken public spaces protection order?
If I've got a choice, then no.
Okay, well then you're under arrest on suspicion of failing to comply with the public spaces protection order.
The young lady's charges were ultimately dismissed, but then it happened again.
Yeah, it is wild. It's really hard to believe this is happening here. ADF, Alliance Defending Freedom, the law firm that represented her the first time around, they actually released a clip of the interaction between her and the officer. Let's take a look.
Now, I get what you're saying. I completely understand where you're coming from. But it's people's perception, isn't it?
I think there has to be some measurable level of intimidation or harassment, and that's not something I do.
Okay, then.
I don't have any intention of that.
Okay, then. So, what we'll start with is we're going to issue you with a ticket now. And if you don't leave the area, you'll then be arrested. Do you understand that?
What do you think about that?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, who would have thought that someone could be arrested for silently praying? I shared a clip of this, the first arrest, on social media in December. And I remember all these people came out of the woodwork and they were like, no, she wasn't arrested for silently praying. She was arrested for silently praying in an abortion, in a censorship zone. So there's all these people out there that are okay with this. The fact that she's in a censorship zone means she has no rights to silently pray. It's just wild.
The charges in the second arrest were also dismissed, and the police were ordered to apologize to this woman. But how long before this comes to the United States? The Supreme Court's already set the table under Terry v. Ohio. It'll only be a matter of time, and if somebody confesses to the police in a similar setting that they were praying silently in their head, it will be chains and a cage. And on a good day, maybe, just maybe, the police will be able to use force and violence to make the arrest. I mean, after all, didn't they do the same thing under the COVID lockdowns?
This confrontation between a woman and a police officer all started over a mask.
Stop it! Let go of my wrist!
At a middle school football game in Ohio Wednesday, a woman in the stands refused to put on a face covering, violating the school district policy requiring spectators to wear masks at games. When confronted by a school resource police officer, police say she refused to put on a mask, and when asked to leave, she wouldn't comply. Watch what happens next.
Put your hand behind your back. I will not put my hands behind my back. I'm not friendly doing nothing wrong.
The officer explains that she's being arrested. When she continues to resist, he uses his taser. You can hear other spectators in disbelief.
This is over a mask.
The scuffle continues as the officer handcuffs her and tries to remove her from the stands.
We've done this how many times together? How many times have we done this?
I'll bet this kid was a Back the Blues supporter right up until he saw that. How to win friends and influence people. Gotta love the blue.